Alright everybody, welcome to UFC Weekly episode 3 for the coming week, in which we're going to have UFC Ireland, and we're also going to recap the recent card that we just had this past weekend, which was Fight Night 28. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fucking fantastic this week, Raheem. How about yourself?
Could be better, but not a bad week,
Hey.
It'd be better if I was fighting this week, but,
I just want to say, on a non-joking side, rest in peace to Kobe Bryant, man. What a legend, man. That's kind of sad. It's very sad to see. I just want to touch on that real quick.
Yeah, I was really sad on Sunday, man, because one, I was hungover from Saturday night, and two, I woke up and I saw that news, and I couldn't believe, for like a solid 4 hours, I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to do shit for like 3 hours. I was just shook.
Yeah, that's someone that was a part of my childhood, man.
Yeah, I wasn't a Lakers fan. I wasn't really a Kobe fan, as to say, but that still hit me because that's a basketball icon, and he's like so inspirational. So
I'm a big Celtics fan. And I was a big Celtics fan growing up, so obviously growing up, the Celtics was the team to fucking beat because we were winning championship. And I just remember when we picked up Shaq and Kobe's rivalry that they've always had too.
Yeah.
That was something. I remember people were trying to say that, everyone's surprised that Shaq's saying what he's saying, but like everyone's acting like him and Kobe weren't friends.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's crazy though. But back to the card.
Yeah.
Leaf defeats Nick Diaz minute 39 in round 1. That was a back and forth fucking war.
Yeah.
Leaf was controlling at first, and then Nick Diaz was fucking coming back.
Yeah, that's Nick. So Nate is the good one, right? Nick is the kind of average one.
Nate got cut because he's allegedly an alt.
Oh yeah. True. I forgot. Yeah.
So, Nick isn't even bad. He's just been here since UFC 1.
Yeah, Nick almost brought that fight back. So I mean, shit, he's not bad. He didn't look bad in that. There's no shame.
I don't think either person looked bad in that.
I mean, I'm not gonna say there's no shame, because I hate when people like say there's no shame when someone loses, but there is shame. You lost still. But yeah, he put in a good effort.
Hell yeah. And then Paddy Dublin defeats Dante Winters by a decision. Majority decision, which is 29-28 for Paddy, 29-27 Paddy, and 29-29 draw. How'd you see that fight? Like, how'd you score that?
Honestly, yeah, it was very one-sided in the second and third round, so Paddy did deserve the win there. Dante got the first round. He could have finished him first round, honestly, but yeah, I don't know why the judges scored a 29-29 in the second round. That shouldn't have been. The judging in this one was really sus. I mean, shit, dude.
I thought it was 29-28 clear cut. It was Paddy.
In the first,
had 2 and 3. First round was definitely Dante.
Yeah, first round. It says Paddy won the first round, but that really shouldn't have been the case.
No. That's the first judge card. That's not what that means.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
The first round was scored for Dante by all 3 judges.
All right. Yeah.
The second round, one of the judges had it for a draw. And then 2 for Paddy, and then all 3 had it for Paddy in the third.
Yeah, so unanimously, I mean, Paddy did win the fight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cole Steen defeats Sammy Lesnar, 58 seconds in the round.
This was a funny one. I had to ref this one, and it's a pretty fun fight, honestly. Like, kind of a bad moment where the fucking competitors ran into me, and that was kind of a turning point in the fight, because Cole had his clean out when they ran into me, and Sammy didn't, right? So when they were like tumbling over me, Cole got some extra hits on Sammy, got him down to almost the same HP as him, and then somehow, some way, even though Cole was on negative stamina, he outstriked Sammy at the end to win the fight.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a gutsy performance by Cole.
Yeah, that's a gutsy performance. That shows that his striking is going to be something to watch out for here in the UFC,
I mean, the heavyweight division is just fucking loaded with talent and potential.
Yeah. All of these strikers in the heavyweight division, bro, like, shit.
There's a lot of good heavyweight fights. There's been a lot of good heavyweights recently.
Yeah, for real.
And then you had Purely DEO, as most people know him, versus Kai Brown. He fucking destroyed this dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was vicious. I thought he wasn't gonna knock him out at first.
Yeah.
That was vicious.
That was pretty vicious. I mean, went all the way to 246, but hey, that was pretty vicious,
Barely hung on. He barely hung on for that time too.
Yeah.
If Purely didn't gas, he would have finished him earlier. Yeah. I believe.
And then Eric Valencias versus Dawson Lewis.
Yeah.
Defeat.
That was shocking.
Yeah. Eric defeated Dawson Lewis 235 into round 3 via TKO. That was it? I wasn't watching that one very closely. Was it one-sided or?
Oh, it was one-sided at first because Dawson was winning 2 rounds. He was beating the shit out of Eric.
Oh yeah. You told me that
was crazy.
Eric needed a knockout and he got it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was so surprised. If it went to decision, I'm pretty sure Hike was gonna win the fight. That's crazy. That is fucking crazy. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, holy shit, he just choked the fight. I mean, it's kind of hard when you know you're up by 2 rounds to not choke the 3rd one. When you know you're up, it's kind of hard to keep that mentality for some people. And some people crumble under that pressure. They expect you to either get a finish or just let it go to decision. And I feel like he was just kind of riding on that decision at the time, and that's what cost him the fight. I mean, he was almost there, 25 seconds more, and it would have went to decision. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Steph Carwin defeating Modern Rollins on the main card, 29-28, all 3 judges by decision. Steph wanted to go for that 30th knockout. This is obviously Steph's first decision victory in the UFC, advancing himself to 30-11. Which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I don't want to give him too much credit because most of his fights have been in flyweight and middleweight, which are, you know.
Hey, but listen, for a dude that's been on a tablet trying to play with PC players and beating some of them, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, some of them, but probably the less notable ones.
There's some people he can beat, but that was a good fight for him. He's looking to get his title back. He's been trying to get the title back since he lost it to Voice. Most notable when he had after the title loss.
Yeah.
Is I believe Voice and who else did he just beat? Modern and Voice. There's 2 notable wins. He just lost to Flame by a close decision.
Yeah.
But they could be set to rematch. Who knows? He might get the winner. PD versus Flame. We'll see. But next fight, Tams defeats Adam Carr at 213 in round 3. What a fucking fight that was.
Yeah, that was a good fight. I mean, Tams dominated most of it. I mean, Adam had a little bit of something going on. He had a little something going on. Like, I think, was it round 1 or round 2? He had something going on.
Round 2, I think, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was round.
At the start, he had something. Then he lost it, and then in round 2 he had something and lost it.
Yeah, so he kept getting like the early start round 1 and 2, and then kept losing it because Tanbir just kind of was pacing himself a little bit better. But yeah, that was a good performance from both of them. Impressive one from Tanbir, especially after the loss to Neo. He looked pretty bad in that Neo fight, but here he looked really good. So that's a big one. I mean, over a guy in the light heavyweight division with a decent record.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. A lot of people didn't expect him to beat Adam Carr.
Yeah. A lot of people actually were saying that he was gonna lose to Adam Carr as well. I mean, people do that to me all the time too, so I get how Tanbir feels, man. Every opponent we go up against, everyone just expects us to lose. Like, the luck's gonna end this time around.
Yeah, no, I definitely see that with some people. It's like the fans are very fair weather, I would like to say. But the next fight, this was another fight. This was a boring fight in my opinion. I don't like to call fights boring. It was just, you could see Karif won the fight, but it was very boring. Karif Villanova defeats Alexander Volkov by majority decision, 2 judges having it 29-28 Karif, 1 judge having it 29-29 draw. Wasn't anything too exciting. You know, Karif obviously needed a big win. Volkov retired. So, that was crazy. This next fight was fucking insane. This is the fight of the night. This was a war. They stood up, they grappled. This was everywhere. Neo Silva defeats Merson Brown at minute 27 in round 3 by a TKO. So Neo won the first round, Merson won the second round, I believe, or something. No, Neo won both rounds. Merson was coming back.
Yeah, I'm shocked, bro. I didn't think he had it in him to beat Merson Brown, man. But props to Neo.
Merson looked like something else that night, man. Like, I feel like that's prime. That was, you got your best Neo and your best Merson on that fight.
Oh man, that's actually making me a little bit nervous.
That is like, holy shit. That was such a good performance by both of them.
Yeah, I fuck with that. I mean, props to Neo.
And then Neo made a call out to you for UFC 18, but we'll obviously find out.
Yeah, I mean, if I beat Brian, we'll go ahead and sign that up probably. Yeah. But for now, I'm not really thinking about it.
Yeah, I know you're focusing on the fight you have ahead of you, and I think you really need to have a good performance.
Yeah, I'm not trying to lose to Brian, because if I lose to Brian, that'll just make all the haters happy. I don't like to make anybody happy around here.
Now this next fight was kind of crazy too. Mac Nareski coming back tonight, taking on Samuel Neekson. Obviously, Mac Nareski is a two-time former featherweight champion, and he's fought Samuel before early on in Sam's career. It was the same result as last time. Round 1 knockout, minute 38 into the first round. Mac Nareski, man, he retired after the fight, and he's gonna be the first inductee into the 2020 Hall of Fame.
Man, as impressive as the win is from Nareski, I mean, shit, Neekson just can't get anything going in the UFC, man.
I mean, Neekson's done too, I believe. I think he's done retiring at 14-10.
Damn, that sucks, man. He had potential. Neekson had potential, but I mean, things just don't always work out for everyone. Not everyone's meant to be at the top. There's only enough space at the top for a certain amount of people, you know. Not everyone can get there.
These next two fights were surprising. I thought Jam and Jameis was going to be one round, but back and forth. This was a one-sided beatdown from Jameis for 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, Jameis was beating the absolute shit out of Jam. I think Jam just froze up. He wasn't... I don't think he was ready for that fight. I don't think he was ready. I think we all thought he was. I think he thought he was. And,
I mean, I thought he would be, because there's a little bit some about him, but Jameis is just too good. He's just too good right now. Yeah, he's too good right now, man.
And then they got announced that Jam's going to be taking medical pain soon. I think it's like February 22nd. Whatever card's on that date, they're going to be taking. Yeah. They're going to be going at it. That's going to be
I'm gonna have an eye on that fight for sure. Even though, I mean, I'm still not giving Cynical Pain any attention. I mean, he called me out on Twitter. I didn't reply. I mean, but I'll keep an eye on the fight. I mean, I just want to see how he does. Then we'll see if I want to run it back with him, you know, sometime in March or April, you know.
It's tough. It's tough, like, being a young champion like Jameis is, because, like, alright, Jameis has I believe, one loss in the UFC. I don't know if his other losses in the UFC too, but he fought Cynical and lost. I feel like that's a fight he needs to run back after if he goes through to Marcus.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, I'm not in a rush. So if Cynical beats Jam Killings, hey, he can go up and fight Jameis. I mean, I'll just keep my heavyweight strap warm, you know. I'll just keep my heavyweight strap warm. I'll wait for Cynical to come up.
Of course. And then we've got the main event in a surprising victory here. Jono defeats Yoel Romero, or as some people know him as Blockstrunner.
Oh, man.
2 minutes, 57 seconds into round 5 by a knockout.
Oh, and this was finally Jono's big moment, man. Finally his big moment.
He filled in on short notice because Apple didn't show up. He took on Blocks. Blocks won the first round easily. And then Jono took it to him for rounds 2, 3, 4. They went back and forth in 5, and Jono won it. That was insane. That was an insane fight. That was crazy for Jono, but now he's gotta take on Apple Lopez and unify the belts and see if he can really call himself a champion. Because as you know, it's just the interim belt. And I don't know how people take those belts, but I look at it as the same way as most people do. You're not the champ until you beat the champ. Yep. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man,
I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him for winning the belt. I really am. But to really solidify himself, he needs to beat Apple.
He's got a tough one coming at him when Apple does get ready to fight. That's a tough one that's gonna come at him. But I mean, hey, if he wants to prove himself, he wants to keep his moment intact, then yeah, I know that he will come up big, hopefully, because he came up big here. So let's see if being a champion makes him step up more. Because that's what he usually does to people. When you become a champion, it'll make you step up a little bit more.
It's a little more motivation. It's a little more of edge.
Yeah, some guys can't do it, but some guys can.
Yeah. Now I got this week we have UFC in Ireland, Fight Night 29. main event being Sally Sega versus Ross Garcia, co-main event Flame versus Petey, and we have a whole bunch of fights lined up. Maybe not so many known names on the card, but there's a lot of good fights on here for sure. Especially on the prelims and the ESPN Plus, you know, there's a lot of young guys fighting. There's a lot of guys that want to make their mark and make a wave on the roster. And they'll be proving themselves. Main card, you got Kyle Lineker, 3-2, taking on Whoopstorm, 11-6. Briar Sullivan's taking on Francis Ngannou. Tony Whitaker's taking on Anthony Quinn, and then obviously I told you the co-main event and the main event. But what do you think about it for the co-main event? Who do you got, Flame or Petey?
Flame or Petey? I must say. Ooh, what is Petey's record right now?
Petey is 4-1, and Flame is 10-5. But Petey apparently has beaten like Voice and some other people. I don't know exactly who Petey's
man,
beaten.
I'm gonna go with.
He beat Omar. He beat Omar.
I'm gonna go with the young gun Petey, man.
I mean, a lot of people are probably gonna go with Petey. I'm personally gonna go with Flame. I think Flame's gonna retain the belt. He had a really good showing against Steph, and I feel like if you have a good showing against Steph, you can really beat a lot of the moguls in the division.
Yeah, because Steph's legitimate, man. Like, getting over Steph's pretty legitimate, so.
Yeah. I'm gonna definitely go with Flame. And Saleh versus Ross, who do you got? Now, before you say anything, I'm gonna give you their records, I'm gonna tell you the backstory behind this.
Yeah.
So Saleh's 16-4 bantamweight champion, Ross is a featherweight, naturally, and he's 17-3. These two fought in WEC. I think the fight ended up getting to be a no contest or something like that. I don't know what happened. I know that the fight, all 5 rounds, and Saleh got a late second knockout or some shit. But apparently it was controversial because they were using one of the admin timers, so it went off late on someone's screen. And some people said it was already going off. So I thought, since they're already beefing, why not book a fight? Because Saleh probably wants to run it back. So that's what ended up happening.
Yeah. That's gonna be interesting, man. That is gonna be interesting. Saleh, you know, he's making his way up again after, like, he's kind of gone under the radar recently, but you know, he's still legitimate, so.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna.
What do you think's gonna win the fight, though? It's tough.
What do you think, man?
I'm undecided.
You're undecided.
I can't make a pick. That's tough.
They're
both really good.
Fuck, man. I think I'm gonna go with Saleh, honestly, because I'm rooting for him to make an impact again, because he's had some disappointing results recently, but you know, he's always been a very good fighter. So I just think he needs to stop being so cocky in fights. You know, just fight, knock some motherfuckers out.
Cost him a couple of his fights is his taunting.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like he was more disciplined in his last fight.
Yeah, it was against
Tyrone Gerard, beat him in like 59 seconds.
It was Champ, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
He did really good. Now we're on to the UFC 17 card in Canada. Our first event in Canada, the Air Canada Center.
Oh shit, Air Canada Center, let's get it.
So I'm gonna start with the preliminary ESPN Plus card. We've got Victoria taking on Allison Rose. Victoria obviously being 0-1, Allison Rose being 0-0. I'm not gonna make a prediction on that. Next fight, Chris Kashi versus Deadly Rhodes. Chris Kashi's 2-2, Deadly Rhodes is 2-1. Deadly's only lost to CJ in a very close fight. Chris Kashi's fought a bunch of different people. What do you got in that fight?
Chris Kashi, bro, honestly.
I'm going with Deadly Rhodes. I don't know. Chris Kashi's lost his last 2.
I think Kashi's gonna bounce back. Frankly, I think he'll be ready to go.
I'm not gonna say this next fight because it's not fully confirmed yet. But fight after it, you got Mikey Manziel, who is 1-0, taking on Leonard Porzingis, who is 5-3 or 5-4. I forget. I think it's 5-3. Yeah, this could be a big win for Lenny to bounce back here, get on the rankings at featherweight after that tough loss to John, which I don't know how he lost that fight.
Yeah.
But let's see if Lenny can bounce back. Then you've got
Lenny. Honestly, bro, Lenny had that fight locked up. I don't know why he started striking with him, man. Like, he had the fight won. he was on an HP advantage even in round 3. I don't know why he got cocky and went for the strikes with Dante. I mean, yeah, people in pro wrestling and even people in MMA seem to have this thing with Dante where, you know, he's not good at anything and he can't strike very well because he sucks at pro wrestling. No offense. And then people say he can't grapple either because, you know, he never tries to grapple, or all he can do is grapple defense. But that's not something to just, you know, underestimate someone by, you know. Like, you really have to just stay focused in fights. Anybody can get you if you just underestimate them. You just gotta stay focused, man. I don't know what Lenny really could have had himself a good win there, you know. Kept moving up the rankings, but nope, that kind of held him back a little bit. So hopefully he can redeem himself this time.
Of course. Next fight.
Who is he fighting again?
He's fighting Mikey Manziel, who's 1-0.
Oh yeah, Mike. Yeah, Mike Cash. Yeah, I mean that should be.
Not Mike Cash. Not Mike Cash.
It's not Mike Cash. Who's Mike Manziel?
This is Mike Gaming _YT or some shit.
Okay, yeah, Lenny got it, bro.
Grayson Collins is gonna be taking on Patty Dublin in the bantamweight division.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a.
Patty Dublin after that big win. Patty Dublin.
Patty's got a big win, and now he's gonna take on Grayson.
Yeah, he's fucked, man. Grayson Collins gonna beat his ass.
Next fight after that, you got the light heavyweight division collision. James Rockhold versus Ved Jones. I believe both of them are similar records. Like Ved's like 5-4. James is like 4-3 or 5-3 or some shit.
Yeah. James Rockhold. I think James is gonna keep his momentum rolling here.
I think James is gonna beat him.
I think he's gonna keep his momentum rolling. I think he told me he wants that fight with Tams King soon. So I mean, I know he's gonna go all the way to try to get it, man.
Oh yeah. Next we've got Austin Jones, Mr. 4-0 versus Eric Valenfias, allegedly 11-1. Who do you got?
Man,
That's
oh man,
tough.
that's a tough one.
That's tough.
But I mean, Eric kind of struggled in the first 2 rounds versus Dawson Lewis, and Dawson Lewis is okay. He's established himself in other companies, but he's never established
Dawson kind of struggled to finish in his fights, and that's my issue. Is like, think about it. If you're struggling to finish in round 1 and round 2, it goes to round 3, doesn't Lee technically have the advantage if you look at the last fight?
but that's one fight. That's against Dawson Lewis, who, as I was saying, he's established himself in other promotions, but he hasn't established himself here yet in the UFC. He's still very green. He's not the finished product, and I'm gonna try to help Dawson Lewis. I mean, he's on American Top Team. He asked me for advice. I'm gonna look over the tape of his fight. I'm gonna see what I can help him with. I mean, but I don't think it's gonna be any quick improvements on Dawson Lewis's part. And with Lee, I don't know if he's gonna improve for this fight against Austin Jones either. I think Austin's gonna pull off the upset here, even though people might go for Lee.
I'm personally gonna go with Austin. You know, he's undefeated. Usually, the undefeated prospects kind of pull through their fights.
Yeah, he's got confidence. I mean, he like doubts himself, but he's still very confident. You know, so it's like, you know, he doubted himself against CJ Clutch, and then CJ Clutch kind of pulled out of that fight. So, you know, hopefully he's more confident for this one against Lee Knock. We'll see. I'm gonna be rooting for him.
On the main card now, we got James Aragoin versus Dean Pratt.
James Aragon versus Dean Pratt. James Aragon has the better record, right?
Yeah. But like, his record's deceiving. Most of it's outside of UFC.
Yeah.
Like, his UFC records, most of his losses are in UFC, I would say. But he's won a bunch too. I just forget what his record is inside UFC.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Aragon.
I'm gonna go with he's on a streak right now. After that JRF one.
Who are you going with? Aragon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're on the next fight, our special attraction fight. Mr. 36-6 taking on Noah Jackson. I can't predict my own fight, so.
I mean, what do you want me to say, man? You're gonna beat his ass, probably.
This boy's gonna bleed. This boy's gonna bleed.
That's gonna be funny, man. Having Noah in the octagon finally.
Dude, this boy's gonna bleed. Do you think he's actually training? I don't think he is.
Nah, I don't think he's actually training, bro. His life is kind of busy right now, but I mean, whenever he gets on.
Oh, so I got him at the right time.
I'll probably remind him to train.
Don't train him, you bitch.
I'm not gonna train him. I'm not gonna train him. I'll just remind him to train.
People are like, Raheem's gonna train him to beat your ass, and I go, I can beat Raheem.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see about that, man. Relax.
Yo, listen, Raheem, don't come at me.
Listen, buddy.
I got the better record.
Listen,
I got
buddy.
the better record.
Listen, buddy.
How many knockouts do you have in the first round?
Well, I don't go for knockouts anymore, man. You know how I do. I just drain fights now. I just try to get as much cage time as I can.
I'm kind of hoping. At the same time, like, I really don't want to fight on my own show because I'm skeeved out about it. But I was like, I promised Noah I'd fight. But if Noah doesn't show up, I'm not gonna bitch.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of my fights, you know, I'm not saying it's gonna happen immediately, but I am gonna turn back the clock sometime soon and try to go for a quick knockout on somebody. Somebody's gonna get the hand soon. I don't know who it's gonna be.
Yo, you're gonna call me out, think you didn't get me out in the first round, and I'm gonna fucking trip you into the fence, knock you the fuck out, and embarrass you in front of everybody.
Nah. Someone's
you rush me.
Someone's gonna get these hands from me sometime soon, man. I don't know who it's gonna be, but someone gonna catch these hands.
Oh yeah. Then we got Michael Manchester versus Chris Durbin.
Manchester versus Durbin.
19-1 versus 17-3. That's tough.
Wow. This is quite
Michael
the
Manchester.
situation.
I can't pick against Michael. I can't.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. It's very hard. It's nothing against Chris, because Chris is really fucking talented, and Chris could probably get an upset. Yeah. On paper, they have really similar skills. But it's hard for me to pick against Michael, because the only blemish on his record is the time that he didn't train.
Yeah. Of course.
If you don't train for Chris, I mean, that's kind of fucking yourself over, but Michael's got better grapple defense than most people.
Yeah, I think you don't. I wouldn't say that. Oh, if you don't train, you're not gonna beat Chris. Because I barely.
No, it's like you need to put in some work.
Yeah, like you need to have a tactic at least going in. That's all I did going into my rematch with Chris, and I won. So let's see what Michael pulls off. He's a monster. I'm sure he'll be able to pull something. I hope he doesn't get knocked out like he did against Neo, because that'd be embarrassing. But
I'm kind of like I would like to see a career resurgence for Michael. I mean, I feel like he's the kind of fresh. Rebuild the welterweight division needs, even though he's an old gun. I feel like they need Michael in that division, because that's the lineal welterweight champion if you want to look at history. That was the real last person to hold the undisputed belt. No one beat Michael for the title. Michael vacated the title. You know, so I feel like the winner of I feel like Driz, after he fights Cubby, I feel like he needs to get that Michael Manchester fight for the welterweight title.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. Michael's a tough fight, though, no matter who he fights. I feel like that's a real test for Driz, is Michael Manchester. That'd probably be his biggest fight.
Alright.
And Driz is the only one on paper that, like, similar records. I mean, 19-1, 21-1. They're very similar. Yeah.
Yeah, they are pretty similar. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I hope Michael wins at in his fight against Durbin. I mean, nothing against Durbin, but I hope that's gonna be good to see Michael getting that big win. And as for Driz versus Thompson,
oh, we don't got picked that yet. I mean, there's still 3 other title fights before that.
Oh, is there? Fuck. All right.
Yeah. We got Jessica Storm taking on Valencia Ayala. I already know who you're gonna go for. Valencia Ayala, former women's bantamweight champion. She's got a notable win over Junzo. She's 3-1 with 1 draw. Jessica Storm, I'm gonna get this right. 24 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, and 2 no contests, or something like that. Women's flyweight champion, former women's strawweight champion, but actually 2-time women's flyweight champ. Just looking to solidify her record even more, becoming 23-2. Valencia looking to be the first person in a while to beat Jess.
I think. I don't think Valencia has been training. I think Jess is going to be able to pull this off. I mean,
if Valencia has been training, if she has been training, I feel like Jess is fucked.
This is a heated rivalry, man, but I don't think Valencia has the technical ability. I don't think she has the technical ability to be able to beat Jess. So That's my take on it. Let's move on to the next fight.
Apple Lopez versus Jano is scheduled but not set. It's scheduled for this card. Unification bout for the middleweight division. Jano being the interim champion, Apple Lopez being the current champion. Apple is currently coming off of a loss by decision to Driz, which a lot of people thought he won that fight. Jano coming off of a win against Yoel Romero. So, this is a pretty decently, I'm pretty surprised that... I think that this is a rematch. I feel like they fought before. I feel like this is an old rivalry for welterweight.
Yeah.
Either way, I feel like this could be a good fight or a one-sided beatdown. It's either or. There's no in between.
Shit, man. We'll see.
It's either gonna be a one-sided beatdown by somebody against somebody, or they're gonna go back and forth. There's no in between right there for this fight. You could just look at it on paper.
Yeah, it's gonna be either really close or a beatdown. We'll see. There's no. Yeah.
Next fight. I don't think you're gonna be able to predict this, but you can. Don't worry. We got Raheem De Niro taking on Brian Long for the heavyweight championship. Raheem's first defense as champion.
Yeah, man, let's get it. Finally.
I mean, they're both. If you want some backstory on why Brian has a chance, they're both 1-1 against each other, and this is their trilogy fight. Brian is 18-4 with notable wins over Vitas Augustus and Alexander Gustafsson and Raheem De Niro. Raheem 20-5 with notable wins over Neo Silva, Chris Durbin, LXM, Brian Long, and many more.
Yeah.
This is for the heavyweight title. I mean, I'm not trying to be biased here. I actually don't know who's gonna win.
Yeah, man, we'll see. I mean,
it's a tough fight. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see at the pay-per-view who possesses the better talents. I mean, I think you have the better ground fighting. I think he's got stand-up that matches yours.
Yeah.
But we've never seen Brian's ground game, so who knows? Maybe he'll pull something new out.
Yeah, who knows?
Alright, next fight, which is the main event. Vitas Augustus versus David Thompson. David Thompson on a 14-fight win streak. Vitas Augustus on a who God knows how long he's been fucking winning.
Right, probably like on... I mean, aside from that one loss to Conor that really shouldn't even have happened, I mean, this guy might as well...
If you don't count the Conor loss, he's undefeated. But
yeah, he might as well be on like a, 20-fight win streak right now.
The Conor loss was I think 10 fights into his career or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on a pretty lengthy win streak. David's just been on a fucking career resurgence.
Yeah, David, I'm impressed by what he's done recently. Because after those losses to Capone and to Driz, I think was it Driz last year?
Who? Driz?
That one show where he fought twice and he lost to Capone.
Yeah, it was Driz and Capone.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. I'm proud of him that he came back, but it's tough business. Once you lose the first time, it's kind of hard to get your momentum back and your head back. You know,
yeah.
It's if you dwell over those losses, it's gonna be a tough road.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough ass road.
And now, before we finish up, I want to talk about some fights that got announced. There's not many, I don't think. There's a couple fights that got announced last night, I believe. No, Sunday. So you have Jameis defending the light heavyweight championship against DeMarcus Lakerson at UFC 18. Alexander Gustafsson versus Anthony Del Rey, which is CJ Clutch. Fight night 31. Eric Balanfiez versus Austin Jones. We already talked about that. That got announced for UFC 17 on Sunday. And Max Payne versus Jam Killings announced for UFC 18 as well.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be.
I'm looking forward to these ones. Jameis versus Lakers is gonna be insane. Jam versus Cynical could go either way depending on if Cynical's trained or not. I'm really looking forward to all of these.
Oh yeah.
But
really good cards.
At this point we're about at the 35-40 minute mark, so I'm gonna wrap up the episode here. I'm gonna get this uploaded later tonight, so I hope everyone has a fun time listening to this because it's been in demand recently. I don't know why people want to hear us talk so much, but yeah.
Hey man, I thought our egos were big enough already, but you guys just keep inflating them, so I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, thank you for listening in whenever you guys do listen, and peace out.